Hello do-it-yourselfers, I'm Terry Peterman, the Internet Electrician, and welcome to another set of project videos here that I'm going to be doing in my own home here in Chemainus, Canada on Vancouver Island in British Columbia. So what we've done here, we've got ourselves into a bit of a renovation nightmare. Well, I shouldn't say nightmare, it'll work out fine, but as if you've done any renovations yourself, you know it's a lot of work. So we've been working away at this. We've pulled out all the floors. We removed a big wall here in the kitchen. And this wall separated the kitchen from the living area and what would be a dining room. They had the second or third bedroom, I should say, was part of their dining room in their arrangement. It just made such a small little kitchen here, small horseshoe-shaped kitchen. And then it spilled over into the dining room. And there's also a dining room here. The way this original house was designed is that there was a dining room, living room, kitchen. So what we've done is opened this up, took out this whole wall here. We're going to be having a peninsula coming out here, and then around the corner we're going to have the little countertop here. Range again, gas range, changing from electric. Around the corner we go, sink under the window, and then turn the corner again, and like I say, a peninsula here. So over on the other side, I'll show you where we've moved the wall back. So we'll take up that third bedroom or slash, they had a dining area there. We're gonna move that wall back, or we did move that wall back. We have a fridge on this side, pantry, all the way over to the patio doors there you see. So I'm gonna do a whole series of videos on this project. It's not gonna be something that I'm gonna be able to do step by step and show you everything. I'm gonna try to give you as much useful information as I can. And when I'm ready for the next step, I'll shoot another segment and show you what I've done. But just to give you an overview of what has to happen here, I've got all my kitchen counter plugs that I've got to connect back up. And now I'm leaving those alone that are on either side of the window. Those are kitchen split receptacles, which we've discussed before, and it's kind of come to light that it wasn't all that common of a practice in the USA under the NEC. But here in Canada, this was common practice, is to split the kitchen receptacles. So if you want, I'll put a description below. In the description, I'll put a link to that video that explains how those work. And I actually kind of like those. It gives you two 15-amp circuits on one receptacle. You split them, you alternate, so you can't have adjacent receptacles on the same double 15 two-pole circuit. And it gives you just all kinds of flexibility to run large appliances on your countertops, and like I say, each one's on their own circuit, and a maximum of 2 half outlets on one of those circuits. So we've got, you can put 2 on a 15-amp 2-pole, as I said, and we had 3 15-amp 2-pole circuits running to this kitchen, which means 6 outlets. So we had 2 on this wall here before. We've got 3, 4, 5, and then there was none on that little island, on that little chunk of kitchen here. So we're gonna add that 6th one to that island there, and a little countertop there, and that's going to make our full load on our kitchen circuits. Now, I pulled a permit on this through our municipality here, and I was even able to phone and talk to the inspector and tell him what I'm doing and explain that I'm not touching these ones by the kitchen sink, which means they're grandfathered. So I'm allowed to keep all those receptacles as they are because I'm not changing anything, I'm just really moving locations. Nice part about this house is I've got nice access to the attic. I've got great access below in a crawl space here that's all covered in concrete, so I can roll around down there on a garage creeper and get some wiring done underneath. Access above, like I say, so it's going to be quite in one way an easy project, but in another way it's going to have some challenges. So I am going to have to add a couple circuits over here, and my panel is in the garage on the inside of the wall. And that's going to be a little bit of a challenge to get wiring over to that, but I'm going to do that in another video altogether and show you how I'm going to go about that project, because there's room in my panel to add stuff. So just some of the things that I'm going to have to do with this renovation. I explained the splits, the split kitchen receptacles, so that's all good. I've got to move the dishwasher feed. The dishwasher was in this wall, but it's just going to that wall, and underneath I checked already, and the cable's long enough to reach the new location. Fridge feed came from overhead and dropped down right here into this wall. Well, now it's going actually closer to the panel over on that new wall I built. So the fridge is just going to be able to be pulled up into the attic and drop back down where the fridge is going to be. I've got to add a 1/4 inch water line over to the fridge. Just picked up a fridge, a little water box to mount in the wall behind the fridge because our new fridge is going to have an ice maker and water dispenser in it. 3-way switch in here now in this kitchen. Over to my side here, that switch operated that light in the center of the kitchen. And then it also was a 3-way over to this dining room / bedroom. So we're going to eliminate that. We don't need that anymore and change this to a 3-way switch that is going to run from the door by the patio. So when you come in from the patio, you can turn on some lights in here. There was none before previously. So that'll make that light on a 3-way switch between the 2 accesses to the kitchen. I'm going to add a switch for above here. I'm probably going to go with all LED puck lights, pot lights. So I'm going to put in probably 3 across the pantry and fridge area up in the ceiling. And I'm going to change that center fixture that I explained is going to be on the 3-way. It's actually going to turn into probably 4 pot lights in the kitchen area of those puck lights, LED. And then I've got to build a header across here up high just to cover that. I'll show you that later. I don't think you can see it on the shot, but where I tore out the wall, we're opened up there, and instead of trying to patch drywall, I'm going to just build a header that's kind of going to blend in with the above the cabinets, above the upper kitchen cabinets. We've gone with a 36-inch high, so we're going to be boxing in right to the ceiling, and then I'll carry on whatever that is, a 4 or 5-inch box. I'm going to box in this area where I pulled out the wall. And I'm going to probably have 3 or 4 of those LED puck lights over top of the peninsula here. So we're going to have great lighting in here. What else do we got to do? I have to move the range feed. So I've also out back, I don't know if you can see through there, but there's a gazebo back there full of the old kitchen cabinets right now. In that gazebo, I'm going to have a hot tub. I can't live without a hot tub, so I've already ordered that. And we're changing from an electric range to a gas range. So that frees up a 40 amp 2-pole circuit that's going to run my spa hot tub. So fortunately, the cable comes down from the attic down to that range outlet. So what I'm going to do is just shoot it out through the wall and mount my GFI sub panel out there, GFI breaker, to feed the hot tub, which will give me A, my GFI protection, and B, disconnect means within sight line of the hot tub, which is all required by code. So that's going to serve that purpose nicely. And this panel has a couple extra circuits. So right now they illegally fed the outside yard receptacles, and they had some really poorly done lighting and a plug-in inside that gazebo. That was tied in with some kitchen wiring underneath here. So we're going to do that right, feed it from this new little sub panel I'm putting out for the hot tub. So that's got to be done. The microwave feed. The microwave was in this wall that's no longer here. We're going with the over the gas range microwave range hood combination where you see that pipe hanging down from the ceiling. So that's going to be vented to the outside. So I just have to move my microwave feed over to where its new location is going to be. So that's going to require a junction box up in the attic or in the crawl space. No, I believe it's in the attic because it came down through the top of the wall here. So move the microwave feed. We got to add a new circuit for the garbage disposal, or the incinerator, or in Canada we call it a garburator. I always get comments about that. Nobody calls it a garburator except Canadians apparently. So that's just going to be an incinerator underneath the sink. We've got to get a circuit underneath there for that. And we have to put receptacles in my new wall that you'll see in another video, so that we have receptacles on the other side of the den, which is going to be our office. And then of course the fridge feed. And also we need to think about under cabinet lighting. Now I've done about 3 videos with under cabinet wiring, under cabinet lighting, and all of them have involved installation that's already there and having to fish in these cables. I've done high voltage ones, low voltage ones. Well, now we're going to have the opportunity with the wall opened up here to get those low voltage wires all in behind the wall as they should be and stubbed out in the appropriate locations. Haven't really decided what kind of under cabinet lighting we're going to go with, but I'm going to have, it'll be low voltage variety of some kind and LED. So putting in that 18.2 LVTN wire in behind the walls and poking it out where it's going to be needed. That makes such a much nicer job and easier to do now with the drywall off. So like I say, I'll get at my rough-in electrical. I just picked up a bunch of material in town, just returned, and I've got my drywall here. I'm missing still one stud over there by the fridge. So I've got to put that stud in. I've got to rough in all my boxes, and then we'll cover that up with drywall. But before I do that, I'm going to show you all these new boxes I've added, how I've roughed them in and wired them, and that'll be the next video. So moving over here to this area, this is where I added the new wall. Before it kind of ended right here, and then it was open into this room, which, as you can see by the lovely dining room fixture, that they use this as a dining room. So the flooring was the same throughout here. I took this wall out and built the new wall here, setting it back a little ways from so that we have room now in the kitchen for the fridge. So we've got a full 36-inch spot here for the fridge. And then we have 5 feet of pantry going between here and the patio door. So that's where I've got to get my fridge wiring in, my water box for it. I see I got one stud here to put in. I was short one stud. And then I've got to put electrical outlets on the other side of that wall, because in behind there is going to be our den and our office. And just a shot from the other angle now, looking from the kitchen out to what is the living room out this way. You can see where I removed that wall, and that's where I've got to box in this hole in the ceiling now. Here's the wiring that was dropped down to the kitchen receptacles, the microwave, the fridge. All that's got to be relocated, rerouted, so I'm probably going to have to go back down through an interior wall and do everything from below now just to hook it all back up. It'll require a few junction boxes, but as long as they're accessible, we'll be able to patch that all back together. I want 2 receptacles in this island, so that'll come from below, like I said, and they'll probably be on the back of the island or peninsula, so that you have power outlets on this whole big peninsula. It's going to be about 7 feet long here. So as I stated, this will have to be done in stages, and I'm going to try to capture as much of the steps along the way as I can, but it might be a little tough with time constraints on having to get certain things done. Maybe you won't have time to video everything, but I'll try to do my best to show you each step of the way on this renovation. And wish me luck. Like I said, it's been a big job, but we'll get through it. So thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. I'm Terry Peterman, the Internet Electrician.